Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, G. Parker Artworks Creations. Pretty much paint, either watercolor or acrylic. I haven't done a lot of acrylic on the channel yet. I'm hoping to do some of that soon. Today I'm doing another watercolor, so no big surprise. Just before we get started, just remind you to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And give me a thumbs up. That really appreciate it. It helps me know that you've liked the content. Not that it really garners me anything, but it's just kind of fun to see. So today I am going to do sunflowers. It's, January, and I haven't done sunflowers in a little bit because I've been discovering kind of all things winter that's fun to paint, but today I decided I was going to do some of the tried and true, but I'm going to do a little different. There's a technique that I've learned where you put the water on and then you put the paint and kind of spread it out, and I want to see how that's going to work for sunflowers. I've done it with cherry blossoms and it looks really cool, but I want to see how it's going to work with a bigger petal. So we're putting down these little dots of water. I don't know if you can see them. I'm trying to have my lighting be good, but there, you can kind of see them, a circle of water there. And now I'm going to put loads and loads of paint on my brush, and then we're going to dab it in there, and we're going to if I remember doing the cherry blossoms, you don't do as much paint. So there we go. But it's kind of fun to see the sunflowers. They're one of my favorite flowers to paint. And they're just bright and cheery and just kind of automatically bring the sun, even though it's the middle of January and we're supposedly in winter. We have sunflowers. Now I'm going to add a little bit of orangish red to these because sunflowers have depth of color to them, and these ones are still pretty wet down at the bottom, which is what I want. The other ones aren't quite, so I'm going to add some water and kind of let it spread. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see how it would work with these. Kind of fun. You never know what sunflowers are gonna do. And so it's just fun to, and then I'm gonna do another one back here. Now my brush has got yellow tint in the water, but some more yellow. Need some more yellow. And this is probably lemon yellow. It's one of the ones that I like to use. Because it's so bright. And then we're going to do one down here kind of sideways. Kind of fun to be painting flowers. I've been doing all sorts of winter scenes and kind of got wrapped up in that. And now we're going to add a little bit of orange. I think this is cadmium orange. Bit of water to it. Okay, then let's see. We want to do some burnt umber for the middle, maybe with a little burnt sienna in there. See if we can't get it. Don't want it to bleed quite yet. Not with all of them. Maybe a couple of the blossoms, but not all of them. So I'm trying to be very careful and only touch a couple of them. Because it's still kind of wet. A little bit more. Okay. And now we're going to do some leaves. And I have some green from painting I was doing earlier, which is a mix of several different greens and some cadmium yellow. So didn't need to hit the petal on that one. But as I've become fond of doing lately, I will quote Mr. Ross and say, there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. And that's what that is, because that still works. We need a little darker green in there now. And we're just gonna let it work with the wet that's there. There. I quite like that. I think that's, I'm liking that. Thinking I want to do a little bit of a wash behind it, so I'm going to put some green. I'm going to thin it out so we have kind of a green background. Just a little bit there. Give it a little bit of depth. And then, because it's a flower, and my favorite thing besides flowers is a ladybug, I need to put a ladybug on there. I don't want to put it on too wet. I think I can probably put it on this little leaf here. Okay, so now I'm kind of a little bit of the, see if we can get some of the burnt umber in here a little bit in the bottom. Now let's dry a little bit. I tend, with my flowers, I tend to do outlining on some of them. I don't know that I want to do that on this one. I think I might just let it be loose and wet. But don't like the way that's drying the paint away. So I'm gonna have to work on that one. Which, thankfully, watercolor, you can work on stuff. I used to be really afraid of making a mistake with watercolor. It was like, if I ruin it, what do I do? And discovered there's all sorts of things you can do now. You can lift paint off, you can go over things. So it's kind of cool. Okay. That's been my number 10 brush, which is one of my favorites. But I think I'm going to go into a finer brush now. And I'm going to do a little bit of line work. Just a little. We'll get some of the burnt umber and black. And we're going to kind of just outline a little bit here. Add some little details without going too crazy. Just kind of delicate lines. And you have to kind of just kind of do a light. And this one's still kind of wet. So I'm going to work on the other end here. A little heavy there. Didn't mean to get that quite that heavy. Just a little bit. A little too wet on my brush there. Yeah. Okay, go up here to these ones. It's a little heavy there. A little bit there. And we need to do the ladybug. So do a little head right here. I'm going to do a little darker down here. Flowers. Okay. And I'm thinking I want to do a little white in there. Now, I don't mean white watercolor paint because I really don't like white watercolor paint. It kind of washes stuff out. And so I have this acrylic marker that I like to use. And the question is, no, see, it's still pretty wet on there. So we're gonna have to do some over here. Little dot on the ladybug. Just a little highlight on some of these. But there you have it, a little sunflowers to brighten your day. And hopefully you've had fun and you give this style of painting a try. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's something I would do all the time as far as the dots of the water, but I do like how the flowers turned out pretty much. So thanks for joining me again, and have a great day.